Welcome back YouTubers to my channel of an everyday encounter on the life of an Aspie. As you're fully aware, these are the drug-free series that I want to hopefully address to the teens and outer community, basically maybe for people that may feel that they want to share my videos around as a learning aid, resource tool and encouragement and alignment to others obviously out there that you feel that needs to actually hear these videos and whatnot, so that hopefully that maybe they can stop and think what they're doing is affecting others, not just them before it's too late. As they say, sometimes we need to make sure that we can make that first protocol of action to know when is the right time to ask for help before it's too late, obviously. So, and on further ado, this one's basically going to be called, are there any parts of your life you're willing to forfeit? So here goes. This is a fair question for you all to think about. If there's any parts of you that needs to forfeit in your life of anything, be it if you're drinking alcohol, be it if you're drug using. And of course you will see friends and adults alike, maybe even your parents, that are supposed to be leading by example, using a little bit at parties, and they still get up the next day and fix the meals, go to school or work, and the list goes on. So can just a little bit hurt is the question. Of course it does hurt, because obviously, as I said in my last piece, that alcohol and drugs can alter our mindset of our thinking, alter our behaviour patterns, alter our mood swings, alter basically our chemical balance in the body and whatnot. So, and I'll further ado, but anyway, I'll address these to you now of what I'm sharing with this part of, if you're willing to forfeit, of the facts, or just something just to give you something to think about later on. As a minor, however, we know it's illegal to use or be under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Other than these prescription drugs that you get given to you over the counter, however, it is illegal to use drugs as an adult. And it's illegal to drive with some form of substance in us, be it heroin, cocaine and the like. It's okay to drive around, obviously, with our prescribed drugs, be it whatever it may be it our depressants, be it our epileptic kind of form of drugs, you know, that anything goes. But you got to remember, it is illegal to drive, however, while being impaired by alcohol. Certain amounts, can, as I said, can alter our, obviously, senses and alter our way of our judgment when it comes down to driving. Then sometimes, majority of the time, many people think that alcohol doesn't cause accidents, but then again, it depends on how much alcohol you took in the first place. That can alter your judgment call when you take the next turn for when you want to head for home that night. Obviously, it can alter your mood as well as maybe alter your judgment, obviously, in the way of recreational drugs that you were using. You know, many people still drive when they are under the influence of, you know, these experimental drugs, be it heroin, cocaine. Obviously now, today, here in New Zealand, where I'm based at, obviously, like the New Zealand Transport Agency versus the government agency of some port in the departments are trying to address now that drug driving may likely be a cause of accidents and stuff, and we need to maybe think to ourselves, is this really going to be enough to send messages out there to everyone out there that drives under the influence of those drugs and whatnot? So I'll share that later on in the piece. If a teenager you're caught was using or is with alcohol and drugs in your possession, you'll have legal problems on your hands. Now you need to ask yourselves these questions, however. How will I feel to be handcuffed and put into a police car as a result of my using? How will I feel about myself if I'm interested or arrested, and how will I feel about others knowing I put myself in that situation in the first place? How will I feel basically if I was arrested and you get looked upon based on others judging you, or just others looking at you, pointing the finger, thinking, now this is a troubled child, she needs help, or he needs help with the Lord, or whatever that many people do tend to bash about, you know, that you need to change based on, you know, everyday principles of, you know, you can't live this way, you know. I'm not going to Bible version royal that on this part of what I'm trying to share here either. Like I said, I'm just here to try and share my point across of what I have researched and know about after seeing some of my friends using and whatnot, and hopefully maybe a message out there for you. How will I feel, however, when I fill out an application for my college degree, here say if I was using, or how will I feel when I fill out a application form when I'm applying for a job and they say, you know, they do drug testing and the other licenses that are needed for me? How will I feel while filling out these forms if they ask if I've been arrested due to the influence of using, due to the influence of drinking alcohol, due to the influence of alcohol and driving, or due to the influence of maybe drug driving? List goes on. Think about that for a minute. Thinking in the decision-making process, however, is making abilities are impaired by the alcohol and the drug use that we have been, you know, using. Just maybe sit down and observe others around you who use, even just a little, say or do some really embarrassing, mean or stupid things. And consider this, however. Nearly 60% of teens who becomes pregnant saying that being under the influence led to the unplanned and unprotected sex. Speaking of unprotected sex, 1 of every 4 cases, however, of HIV is reported to be in teens. Again, ask yourselves all these questions, and I'm asking to you all, and think about it carefully. How would I feel or you feel knowing I had or you had put yourself or myself at risk in some way, such as driving behind the wheel while under this influence of the drugs that I was taking, or getting into the car who was under that influence of drugs or alcohol? How would I or you feel if I found out that me or your girlfriend or boyfriend, you know, shall we say myself or some other girlfriend of yours maybe was pregnant at the time, or caught a venereal disease, or had possibly exposed myself to HIV? Another one is, how would I feel about myself or yourself knowing I had made a fool of myself or yourself at a social gathering with everyone that was watching that were embarrassed for me, or some other judgment call in their mindset, you know, what the hell is she doing? Why is she doing this? You know, and all these other, you know, questions that might come into their minds that will cloud our perception, obviously, while we're under that influence. Basically, another one is motor skills. Motor skills and coordination are impaired by alcohol and drug use. It's outright dangerous to be behind the wheel, however, even though many people do this while they're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, thinking that, you know, it's okay, I'll get home safely. But then again, do they realise, like I said, the consequences that will follow, be it if a police car stops them to breathalyze, give us, you know, a breath test, or even a demand, well, not demand, but just tell us that they need our address and phone number and whatnot. Even just a little bit, or to be just the passenger in the car. Of the 8,000 teenagers who dies behind the wheel of the car each year, more of them are tested positive for alcohol or chemical use. Now again, ask yourself this. Do I want or you want to take the chance of being in that car or driving with someone who's not able to fully be aware of everything that's going on around him or her? How would you or I feel if I woke up in the hospital after driving while under the influence of even just a little bit of alcohol or drugs? How would you or I feel if someone was seriously injured or even killed because of me or just my friends that was under that influence? Cigarettes, however, alcohol and drugs are addictive substances, as I said so many times before. A little bit of use can lead to a lot of use. A national survey on drug abuse reveals that 2.3 million teens who are chemically dependent addicts. The definition of an addict like I said in one of my videos, obviously has been misused, misinterpreted and all the like, and has been interchangeable of these definitions of all these other words that I want to address to you. How I look at it, an addict is someone who's thinking that is in control by their desire to use of a particular substance or chemical. Teens who try to experiment with getaway drugs are 266 times more apt to use hard drugs in the future. In short, addiction begins with a first time use. Many people may argue that fact, but I've seen it time and time again that many teens especially feel it's, like I said, the pressure to just try one thing and it leads to a next and the next and the next and the next, and sometimes it's too late for them, they feel, to break that cycle of addiction. Of course, not everyone or every user becomes addicted. I would like to address to you all today. Drugs and alcohol are toxic and poisonous to the human body. If you think that just a little bit means staying away from hard drugs, remember that it's well documented that tobacco or smoking causes cancer and drinking causes breakdowns from the liver to dementia. Whether from related diseases or accidents to tobacco and alcohol are responsible for one of this or all of these deaths. Each month more people die from tobacco and alcohol use than do in a full year using all the other hard drugs put together. What's more, even just a little bit of any substance is still a little bit of poison to your body and can run your whole body system. Under the influence of alcohol and chemical use, however, you aren't you. Obviously, like I said so many times before, it can alter your moods, it can alter your behaviour, it can alter your thinking and everything else. You give up your full-on integrity. When you use even that little bit for the first time, the secrets and lies start speaking in your mind of the self-data and stuff of you having to use. It's doubtful that you'll be able to tell your parents, grandparents or other relatives that you're using. Nor will your non-using friends to find out. You'll keep it a secret or hope they won't find out. If they do, you'll probably lie about it. You're left feeling less than honest and then begin to hammer on your self-esteem. Basically, this ends part 5 or 6 of my series of the drug-free series. Give me the like, click the thumbs up pretty much. Share the videos, as I said, to friends and family so I can reach out to people that I feel that needs to be addressed with this, because I really want this as a learning aid, resource tool and awareness. Basically, also feel free to leave comments, as I said, as I'm going along with these series, to just create a positive vibe, basically, for others around us, so that others that may be coming on my channel that will be able to know that it's okay, as well as also maybe just politely put some up on my AspieAnswersAll, while I'm hoping to put them all on there as well, sort of thing. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. You know, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon.